What's up, current and future disc golf addicts? Today I'm going to be taking along on a round at Ralph Williamson Memorial Disc Golf Course in the south part of Seattle. The course is otherwise known as Lakewood. With that, we can start off on hole 1, playing to the A pin position, which is just over this small body of water. In the winters, the water does fill up, especially with all that rain coming in the winter seasons, and sometimes the parking lot can be flooded. But nevertheless, a very nice park-style disc golf course. Hole 1 and 2 starting off with a little bit more friendly here. Very inviting and wanting to start off with your birdies. Hole 3, already finding a little bit more technicality here, having a gap to hit, trying to throw my harp on a flat shot or even a touch of anhyzer and have it stall out towards the basket, but end up missing that angle and actually getting my disc stuck up in a tree. But fortunately, no 2-meter rule here. An unforced error there, just missing right. Hole 4, I believe the basket was in pin position B, meaning all the way tucked in the back. Throwing my Roadrunner here, also a disc that I'm not familiar throwing air shots with. This was a recent pickup within the last couple of weeks of when this round would have been filmed, so still learning it. And considerably more stable than I expected, where it just held the angle rather than flipping over like my old Roadrunner would have. Throwing my Justice here, big flex forehand. My mistake has always been never giving it enough anhyzer, and I finally committed to that, which is good. Hole 6, we're looking at a gap off the tee with a little bit of water. It's been a little bit of a drier summer though, so you could actually walk through it, no water in place, but in the winters you can lose discs there as well if you end up hitting one of those early bushes. Big flex shot off the tee, didn't commit to it, so I end up sneaking through this left side then with my upshot. Hole 7, we have a double Mando. Throwing through the center gap, barely pull my rock right. Just kick straight back down. The basket is just on the back side of this little hill, and what you don't see unfortunately on the camera is that it took off rolling and I had to walk very far into the OB over the path to go pick up my putter. Very easy to get those rollaways even though I've tried having it land flat. Hole 8, 348 feet. Dead straight. I usually try aim out a little bit left, touch of anhyzer so that it opens up the gap towards the basket. Didn't fully commit to that left to right line, so leaving me with this blind forehand, trying to give it a half bid there, but really making sure that it lands flat again so it doesn't roll away. And we're already starting to see a good bit of elevation that Lakewood does have to offer. Hole 9 again the same, even though it's only 243 feet. Throwing my Leopard pretty hard here. Just flat, have it push up, especially with that low ceiling. That extra speed helps it get up there. And this is where you'll have to ignore the numbers on some of these T signs. I believe within the last year or two, Lakewood unfortunately lost a couple of disc golf holes to a local elementary school that was being expanded. And so what was previously hole 14, I believe, is now hole 10. And this pin position has now become permanent as far as I know. Now we're playing from this red square that you would see on the T sign. And we're playing to one of the old pin positions from the previous tee pad. I'm struggling with that nose up on the forehand there. And a pretty bad putt if I say so myself. At least it was right next to the basket. hole 15, playing to pin position B. Throwing my leopard more and more, trying to have it hold the line. It's still not quite as beat up as I would want it to be, so it does still fight out at the end when it loses its speed. But this is still relatively fresh in my bag, maybe being there for 6 or so months. Little ace run hole here. Even though I wanted to give it a bid, that OB parking lot is very close. And then old hole 16, which would be the new 14. Also a new pin position. What was previously a 280-foot backhand mid-range now shapes up for a forehand flex shot for me, but still with that nose angle, it's simply not committing to the lines. Now we're looking at hole 15. Tried throwing my PA5 on a pushing hyzer line, just throwing it soft because it's not the furthest hole, but missing the line. Hole 16, previously hole 18, trying to throw a forehand hyzer flip with my harp, but with that left to right slope, I ended up putting too much hyzer on it, and it has to kind of fight against what the disc naturally wants to do. So, not something I would have thought of in the moment, but realizing now, all the more reason to throw it a little bit more flat, or maybe even disc up to a slightly more stable harp. Hole 17, very tricky OB line with this path on the right side, and then the basket on the tip of this peninsula of inbounds. So one where you really need to trust your disc, but it's still a far enough hole where, for me, I feel like I need to choose a little bit of a glidier disc in my Wraith and really try push that hyzer, and not quite having the ability to go full spike hyzer. Hole 18, previously hole 20, playing to pin position A. Trying to throw my Explorer, touch of hyzer, have it fly straight, but with the right to left slope this time, I had a little bit of trust issues here, putting that hyzer on the disc like I should have and committing to the shot. End up throwing it flat, having it drift right. Fortunately didn't find the right side OB, but still carding in that par, which finishes me at even par for the round. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.